Hello, my name is John Canning. I work at the Centre for Learning and Teaching at the University of Brighton. I'm doing this slightly different format now for my SEDA Triad report. I've for the last couple of years actually made it public online. I've actually written it up, but I've put it on my website for people to look at and sort of embedded videos. I suppose this time I'm sort of doing things slightly the other way around. I'm making a video, partly as I'm thinking about using them a bit more in some of the work that I'm doing. But also I'd like to try a new format, and I'm enjoying, in inverted commas, the process of just putting together videos and playing around with some of the software. Okay, this past year has been quite a strong learning curve for me because I joined the University of Brighton in September. So when I was writing my report last year, I was just in the process of making that move. I was previously at the Subject Centre for Languages, Linguistics and Area Studies and its subsequent successor organisations at the University of Southampton. So that's where I was before. I was there for 10 years in total, doing all kinds of different things on a national level. Now I find myself working in an institutional context, which is very different for lots of reasons. Just to give a sense of some of the responsibilities, I teach on the postgraduate certificate course for our new lecturers that we have at Brighton. I've taken over the leadership of a module on assessment, and I've redesigned that actually for next year. So we've got a new module for our PG Cert in September, which is focused on assessment and feedback and student learning. So I've actually, with my colleague, we've sort of looked through the we've looked through the course and overhauled the PG Cert slightly. So that's one thing we've done in that direction. I'm also involved in the professional recognition program we have for the Higher Education Academy schemes. I'm involved in helping people at the D1 and D2 level, that's the Associate and Fellowship, to perform their helping people at D1 and D2 level to put their applications in for the Higher Education Academy Fellowship. I've also been involved in assessing those things as well. On a related note, I successfully have undertaken my own senior fellowship at the Higher Education Academy. So I found out a couple of months ago that I'd been awarded that, so that's excellent. So I'm hoping to get the official confirmation from the AGA fairly soon about that. So that's been a sort of an encouraging first year in that regard. I've got a bit of research published. I did a article on my on a website that I developed a couple of years back called Yazic Open, which is open access research into learning and teaching modern languages. That includes English, and I've been working on that for about 2 years, and actually decided to write about that process. And I was able to find out about a journal called Hybrid Pedagogy, which is a purely online journal, and it seemed to be the sort of place that was inappropriate to publish these somewhat autobiographical pieces. One thing that was very interesting about that as well was the peer review process was sort of very different to what I'm used to. You know, the reviewers were revealed who they were, and they worked with me on the article. So what you see there is a peer-reviewed article, but it's one in which is not double-blind peer-reviewed by people who I may know or not know. So that's been quite an interesting process as well. I've also got online now in PDF format my statistics for the humanities book. Again, this is open access, it's freely available. I've used a combination of software called MathType and Serif X7 to create that publication. That's been quite an interesting learning curve, trying to think about the book design as well, thinking how I want it to be laid out. So I've been working, so that's sort of now available. There'll be tweaks to do to it, a sort of nature, I think, of an online process where you've got to keep going with that, really. So I'm learning a lot from that process. On the PG Cert course, I've been also facilitating an action learning set, which is a set of 5 early career lecturers who who meet every 2 weeks, and we talk about issues that they're working through. I've been learning a huge amount about the university. I'm new to Brighton, so I'm hearing about all sorts of departments, the things that are going on there, the challenges that individuals are facing, but also the challenges that maybe particular subjects or departments are facing. So that's been a very interesting process for me as well. Another thing I've been involved in is our peer-assisted study sessions work here at Brighton. If you know, we call it PASS. It's also known as PAL at some institutions, but essentially it's a process where second or third year students mentor first years through study sessions which are led by senior students, if you like, either the second or third years who've already done the course. This has been running at Brighton for a number of years. Back in November, I went on a training course to Plymouth, where I became an officially certified PASS leader trainer. So I've been leading sessions for those students who wish to become PASS leaders. I think that one of the great things about this process is being brought into contact more with the undergraduate students, which is sometimes in our line of academic development work. You probably do slightly less than you might like. So it's interesting as well, getting the perspectives from the students about what's going on in their department, what they find difficult about their course, what the challenges they face are, what they feel about their prospects. So having that student-facing role's been very exciting as well. I also published, I did some work for the Higher Education Academy a couple of years ago on when there was rumours that the Department for Information and Skills was going to enforce a sort of postgraduate national student survey. They seem to have gone cold on that idea at the moment, which I think is probably the right decision, but I did do a literature review, which is now available from the University of Brighton website on the Centre for Learning, and it's now available on the Centre for Learning and Teaching website on the University of Brighton. So that can be downloaded from there. I'm also doing further work with a colleague on the concept of the student voice. Did a presentation at our annual Teaching and Learning Conference on the student voice, the ownership of the student voice, the idea of the student voice, looking at some theoretical ideas surrounding it, and we're working that into a paper which I hope will be submitted in the next few months probably. I've also got involved in the sustainable development work at the University of Brighton. Again, I'm sort of getting my teeth into understanding what's already been done and what's being done at the moment. I'm part of the committee that runs across the university for that. So it's been a lot of a learning year, as I've got used to working in an institutional rather than a national context, but also doing new things like teaching on the PG Cert and mentoring the fellowships and doing these PASS peer-assisted study sessions, things with the students. I'm also doing the occasional blogging. I try to keep that up. I keep up my Twitter account. I wonder whether I spend more time than I should on those things, but I'm sure lots of us often think that way. Well, thank you very much for listening. I hope it hasn't been too tedious a process. I'm also in the process of learning how to get all the video together, so I'm going to try and edit all this now and see what happens. Okay, thank you very much.